What do you think of this crop coming in, though, Dave? Is this the type of group that can get the Pac-10 back up there and more than 2 teams into the NCAA tournament?
Well, my math is a little bad because I see 12 guys there, so this much mean we're talking Pac-10 expansion.
Well, it's the slash because you also have teams like Utah, Colorado coming on board, so it's just all sorts of confusion with the terminology we need to get set with the Pac-12. We're going to focus now on the Pac-12 and the classes coming in next season. Break it down by who is the best in each category. We're going to start with the best impact recruit. Who has that in the Pac-12?
Stanford, Johnny Dawkins got Chasen Randall. Went into Illinois. They needed a point guard bad, someone to start. They're going to hand the ball to Chasen Randall. And who better to learn from than Johnny Dawkins, the great guard at Duke? Randall's a combination guard, needs to learn the position, great student, high character. He's the guy to turn Stanford around.
So someone good in the backcourt to start off for Stanford, but overall, who has the best backcourt coming in?
Well, I don't want to hype this too much, but I'm going to hype it pretty much. I think Arizona's signees will comprise one day the best backcourt in the Pacific 12 Conference. These guys are going to be outstanding. You're talking about Josiah Turner, and before I get into it, they're completely different. Josiah Turner is the drive guy who gets in the lane, hard to guard, and then we have Nick Johnson. He's the rainbow three, the athlete, and in my opinion, entering college basketball next year, one of the best defensive players in the United States.
I love Nick Johnson because he plays on both sides of the basketball. He can score the ball for you. He can play a little point guard if you need him, and he really defends, like you said, Dave. When Arizona's at the top of the recruiting, it makes the Pac-10 better.
Now just see if Sean Miller can put on the sales pitch to Derek Williams to get him to stick around another year to play with those guys coming in to Tucson. That remains to be seen. Well, we know they're going to be good passers, but individually, the best passer coming in the Pac-12 is
Tony Roten from Washington. Tony Roten has a quick first step to the basket. He's a big point guard, so he uses his body to get into the lane. And once he gets into the lane, you're at his mercy because he can finish or find his open teammates. In transition, he always plays the game with his head up and his eyes up. So he's always looking to make the pass, Dave, and find his open teammates. I think he's got the vision and the unselfishness as one of the best passers in the Pac-12.
Oh,
and it was his passing that got him back into our top 20. In the ESPN U100.
Well, he is one of those guys that are up the top of the ESPN 100 that we've talked about so far. Let's go a little lower than that. The guys coming in under the radar to the Pac-12, who would that be?
I love the under-the-radar guys because in the past we've seen great success out of under-the-radar players. We have Hassan Whiteside, who went from Marshall to the NBA. We then have Larry Sanders, who went from Virginia Commonwealth to the NBA. And ironically, Jannard Giroux was at one time on the verge of being a Virginia Commonwealth Ram. And then Washington came in, and here's what they have in this guy. They have a long, slender shot blocker with good face-up game. What he doesn't have is any idea where the weight room is located. Once they show that to him on the campus at Washington, and we're talking about a guy who's under the radar now and could be a real big signee.
He needs to make the strength coach his best friend. That's how he's going to get better.
We see that with a lot of these young guys. Bulk them up, and then we got something to talk about. On the subject of the best shooters coming to the Pac-12, who would that be?
Well, talking about bulk, Jabari Brown, a strong physical guard who really competes. He has great three-point range, and he's a very consistent outside shooter, and he has the confidence that you need as a shooter. When you miss one, he's ready to take the next one. He's going to play for Dana Altman in Oregon, and now Dana Altman has a go-to guy for his program and the face of his program, I think, for the future.
You got to work on the pronunciation, though. Oregon.
Oregon.
Paul Biancardi's take on that one. Let's go beyond the guys in the starting 5. Let's go with the best 6 man in the Pac-12, and that would be?
I think that's Jaheed Carson. And this little guy comes into a league that is tailor-made for him. In the last few years, no high major league in America has accepted more sub-6-foot point guards than the Pac-10/Pac-12. Jaheed Carson comes in with speed, athleticism, and swagger. He's a fun kid to be around, an energy giver for Herb Sendek. We'll see if he can get Herb Sendek to crack a smile. If he can be half as successful as guys like Tawan Porter and Randall, who was at California last year, then that's a big signee for Arizona State.